Hi, and welcome to the Ballyhoobridge podcast. I'm your host, Heather, and I'm so glad you're here because I have a question for you. Do you ever feel stuck? Do you find yourself struggling to take the next steps in your business or even your life? Figuring out your next steps and having the courage to actually take them is the beginning of a road to self-discovery and healing. It's a journey that's uniquely yours that will uncover who you really are and help you show up as your true, authentic self, not only in life, but in business. In this podcast, we'll talk about marketing and business and spirituality and mindset. We're breaking it all down so you can build the life you truly desire and deserve. We're going to explain the jargon, clear up some misconceptions, and discover we're not all so different. We'll bridge the gaps between what you think you know and what you think you don't. Let's dive in. Today, I'm here to talk to my business people again. I want to ask you a question. When someone says branding, do you know what that means? And do you know that as a business owner, even as a solopreneur, that you really should? The truth is, branding can be pretty in-depth. It can be a conversation that can go on for a long time, and there's a lot to it. And if you feel that you're ready to go there with your business, if you're more established, I would recommend maybe hiring someone that could help you with it. It can be a little bit overwhelming, but having someone that's designated to keep you on brand can actually be invaluable in your business. That can be a part-time person, a virtual person, but that might be helpful. So for you small business owners, you solo biz owners that are out there, there are a few things I would love for you to think about when it comes to your branding. Now look, you can do a lot of this on your own or with a little help, and I don't mean hiring a part-time person to work for you. I mean maybe hiring a freelancer that can help you get what you need done and get you moving. The reality is your brand is crucial to your business. I will frequently get on a soapbox talking about this because I believe it's that important. And truthfully, I get very frustrated with people that don't. People that will say, oh, that can wait. Or, oh, you've changed your logo 5 times in the past 6 months. That's no big deal. No one will notice. It doesn't matter. It does matter. And I beg you, please do not listen to these people. Hear me. Do I believe that the very first thing you need to do when you're establishing your business is create a logo? No, I don't. But it does need to be in a list. It does need to get done. And when you talk about branding, we're not just talking about your logo. Your brand goes to the very core of your business and who you are. Let me come down off my soapbox for a minute and explain what I mean by all of this. Like I said, there's a lot that can go into branding. But when you're just starting out, and especially as a small business, I think there are 3 places that you need to start and that you need to understand. And that's brand identity, brand image, and brand positioning. Look, please don't get nervous. This is a lot easier than you think. And it's actually kind of common sense. And some of the work that you've done to establish things about your business, like your why, your ideal client, and some things like that, actually will kind of lead you into figuring out your brand. Okay, let's start with brand identity. Brand identity is the elements people see, like colors, design, and logo, that identify your company and distinguish you from other companies. That's pretty simple, right? But how do you accomplish this? Well, you basically start with a logo. Now, is a professional logo important? Yeah, it kind of is. What that does is it creates trust. It shows effort. It shows that you're polished and you're serious. Now, we'll talk about logos another time, more in depth in another episode. But for now, one thing to remember is that consistency is key. The look, the colors, the fonts, all the things that make up your look should be consistent. Your logo may simply be your business name or your name, but do it in the same font and the same color all the time. That creates consistency. I also don't want you to get overly concerned about how to create this logo. There are many, many, many freelancers out there that you could hire to handle this task. You can also start with something basic, maybe from Canva or something like that if you need to. If your budget just simply won't allow you to hire a designer, then maybe something like Canva is a good place to start. But start somewhere. You may even ask around. You may have some friends that are willing to help you out and give you a discount or do it on trade. It's usually not that expensive, so I would really check out your options. So why is this logo so important? Why is that identity so important? Well, it's about recognition. This logo is how people recognize you. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that you don't have to see the word Nike anymore? You see that swoosh and you know it's them. Same with Starbucks and Coke. That's because they're consistent. That Nike swoosh doesn't change. With Coke, a red can is regular Coke. A gray can is Diet Coke. A black can is Coke Zero, and so on. But that Coke part never changes. They stay consistent. They stay on brand. I'm going to give you even further example. Some of you that are watching YouTube may see my shirt. I don't know if you can see it. I have a Spider-Gwen on my shirt, and she's part of the Spider-Man family. You may not know who that is. That's okay. Even if you don't follow comics, even if you know nothing about that, most likely if you see the webbing and the logo that they've created for Spider-Man, you're going to know what it is. What you may not know is you go out to buy a t-shirt for your nephew who loves Spider-Man, and they're all going to look different, but yet the same. They have that same webbing or certain design elements that stay consistent across each one, but the colors may change a little. For Spider-Gwen, she's more pink and purple, looking a little more female, but that webbing and all stays the same. You'll see one, Miles Morales is another iteration of Spider-Man. His looks a little different. His has different coloring, but there's still that webbing that you recognize. So they stayed consistently on brand, even though they created different characters under the same umbrella. Consistency was the key. And like I said, even though you may know nothing about comics, you may not care anything about comics, I bet if you see something with Spider-Man on it, you will recognize it and know what it is. That is consistent branding. So the more your customer sees your logo, they start to associate it with you. They start to go, oh yeah, that's that great coach I've been hearing about. I love their post. Or, those are those cupcakes that look so good. I remember that. I want to try those. And they start to recognize your name. Then they start to go, I want to work with them. What was their name again? They look you up. They recognize the logo. They know they found you. They find you online. It's all about the consistency and recognition. They say it takes 12 touch points for people to remember you. No matter where you are posting, no matter what you're doing, you want that logo, your wording to be the same so that everywhere somebody sees you, every touch point where they encounter you, it looks the same. Same colors, same fonts. They know it's you. Consistency. That is the key. The next thing to discuss is brand image. Brand image is the perception of a product or service held by customers. And this can be both real and potential. The truth is, sometimes you don't have control over your image. It can change for a lot of different reasons, and some of those are within your control and some of them aren't. Especially if you're a coach or someone offering that kind of one-on-one service, you are your brand. Really, I guess you could say that with any small business in particular. Your cupcakes may be the best they've ever had, but let's say there's a bakery that's closer to their house. They could go there instead. They'll come to you because of you. Their perception of you, the customer service you offer, how you handle people, they will drive out of their way if they love you and have a great perception of you. And that is all tied back to your image. Your mission, vision, and values of your company are all part of the image as well. Establishing even the most basic statements of what you stand for and what your business is about is important to you and your customer. That serves as a reminder to you, but it also allows the customer to know who you are. And a statement can be really basic. It can say, I want to help people get in shape and feel healthy. Or I want to help companies with their bottom line by offering affordable accounting services. Maybe even I want to help people change their mindset and live their most badass life. Statements don't have to be fancy. They just need to be real and honest. Again, especially for a small business. Let people know who you really are. That's part of your image. I said this part earlier, that part of your brand identity is your customer service because it can play a role. Perceptions can be formed about a company without anyone ever making a purchase. Word on how you treat people will travel fast. And unfortunately, negative tends to travel way faster than positive. So that customer service element is very important to your image. Lastly, let's talk about brand positioning. According to Forbes, brand positioning is what a brand does, why it does it, who it's for, and why it's better or different than the competitor. Basically, with your brand position, you're holding space in your customer's mind and in the market. Some companies have done it so well that they've become sort of synonymous with the item or the product that they sell. For instance, when you have a cut, do you ask for a Band-Aid? Band-Aid is the brand, it's not the product. The product is an adhesive bandage. A lot of people ask for a Kleenex, which is a brand. The product is actually called a tissue. Coke is a great example, especially here in the South. We don't ask for a soda or a pop or things like that. We ask for a Coke, and then they ask us, well, what flavor? Looking at your competitors and kind of understanding what sets you apart from them is a really good place to start. What makes you different? A lot of people may be able to offer the same end result that you do, but what makes your technique to arriving at that transformation unique? Finding that niche, finding your people, being clear about who you serve, and showing why you are unique shows your potential customer why they should choose you. It also helps with pricing. You're offering a high quality, exclusive product or service. That basically is going to automatically give it value in the eyes of your consumer. Being uniquely you will make people want to come to you and come back to you. So get creative about the message that you put out there. Don't just copy someone else's. Be you, because most likely you are the unique thing about your product or your service. One other little thing about this, Many people will align with or support a company because they align with the same values. It could just be that you relate to that person. I mean, a working mom who's dealing with losing baby weight is probably easy to relate to for most other moms. But you may also relate to a company because of things they stand for. For instance, let's say you support animal rescues, and then you find out that so does this company. That may sort of compel you to give them their support because you align with the same things. So keep those things in mind as you're looking at your brand and your position. I really can't state enough, however, as a small business, you are your brand. Even if you've grown beyond a one-man show, unless you're a franchise, you are your brand. And even then, even if you are the franchise, your customer service is a big part of that brand. I give you Chick-fil-A as a prime example. What do you expect there? How do they speak and treat their customers? That's part of their brand. How you handle yourself, how you interact with others will influence the perception and potential clients. Also consider that this includes your personal posts on social media. Look, you can separate your business by giving it its own page, but if people want to find you, they will. And often when you're first starting out, you're having to utilize those personal connections and your personal pages. I bet your friends are even going to refer people to you. And let's be honest, social media is a great way to grow your business, and it's what people utilize for their marketing. So don't forget that the choices you make are yours, and you need to be aware of the consequences if those choices are questionable or controversial. And maybe that's what you want. Maybe that's how you'll find your people, by being polarizing. And as long as you know that and you're okay with that, then go for it. Otherwise, I would be mindful of your personal choices and the posts that you're making on your personal pages. The other thing I want to leave you with is don't be afraid to ask questions or to ask for help if you need it. There are people like me that you can contact for consultation or guidance. There are freelancers, coaches, advisors. You are not on an island alone. Sometimes it's just a matter of talking things out with someone. It can kind of get you moving in the right direction. It can give you the energy you need. Facebook groups or accountability groups can actually go a long way in giving you some feedback that you need. So ask. Get some help if you need it. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and that it helped you in some way. Make sure and like and rate and do all the things for our podcast. And of course, check out the show notes for links or any other important information. If you're looking for guidance in your journey, you can head over to my website, ballyhoobridge.com. There, you can choose a time for a free 30-minute clarity call. In the meantime, don't forget to take care of yourself. Until next time.